Hey sophomores, welcome to this quick introduction video on our new Art of War unit. It's going to be about a 5-week unit, so I just want to walk you through it and make sure that you've got your grounding and that you understand like where we're going to start and where we're hoping to finish. All right, follow me. You will see here, this is your Schoology homepage, and this unit is going to take us 5 weeks. So it's going to run through weeks 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So if you pop into week 8, you'll notice a bunch of content. As always, you have the explanation of this week's work. I want to walk you through this because if you haven't yet figured out that this is like the keys to the kingdom every single week, then now's a really good time for you to understand that. So every single week, there's an explanation overview of what's going to happen that week. I explain to you why you want to be studying this particular content. I make connections to the previous weeks here and how you're going to apply this information in upcoming weeks here. And then I give you a breakdown for how you're supposed to address the whole week. So on Monday, you're going to do these things, Tuesday this, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, etc. So what you'll notice in week 8 is that you're supposed to read the overview document and the Art of War fun facts. The overview document for this particular unit is extremely critical, so be sure you look at that. And then you're going to be choosing your battle. That happens on Monday. And then on Tuesday, you're going to actually begin to research that battle. On Wednesday, you'll continue that research. And then on Thursday and Friday, like always, we're going to do some grammar work. So you might be wondering, wait, I got to research a battle? What are you even talking about? Well, in order to answer that question, you will come down here to the overview of the Art of War unit. And if you click on that, it explains like, hey, here's what's going to be happening and here's what we're doing and here's what you're going to need to do. So let me just walk you through what this unit is. So in this unit, you're going to have 2 different experiences reading some excerpts from the Art of War, which was written thousands and thousands of years ago by a Chinese general, and some would argue by a couple of Chinese generals. Anyway, it's a guidebook. It's a list of strategies that you will use whenever you're going into battle. Now, you might be thinking, Miss J, it's 2021. I'm not really going to be part of a battle right now, but here's the interesting thing. That over the course of the thousands of years that this thing has been written and has been around, people have started to apply it to business, to life, to sports. And so I want you guys to have an experience with this text because it's been around for a really long time and it is still addressed today. In fact, it has been referenced at multiple times in the news cycle in these last, say, 18 or 19 months. Okay, so let's take a look at the 2 different versions that we're going to be seeing. The first version that we're going to look at is a graphic novel of the Art of War. And so that's actually super cool for those of you graphic novel nerds. It's pretty fantastic. It has these little vignettes, little stories. It has actual content from the Art of War in it that you can quote, and it's fantastic. The next translation we're going to use is a translation of the Art of War that looks a little bit like this. Now, we're only going to read 4 chapters of this text. I have already marked or annotated the text for you, so as you go, you'll be able to see my markings and use those to help guide your interpretation. I'm not going to lie, this is a complicated, sophisticated text, and we're going to work through it together. I'll be providing audio recordings of a lot of this stuff, so you'll be able to get your feet wet that way and then finish up the reading on your own. Okay, in addition to reading those 2 texts, you are going to get to choose a battle from anywhere in the world. Not a war, just a battle, one tiny piece of a greater, larger war. And you are going to then study or research that battle. And then ultimately, after you have researched your battle and you have read those 2 different versions of the Art of War, what you're going to do is take all those strategies that you learned in the Art of War, you're going to apply them to what happened in your battle, and then you are going to write an argumentative essay persuading me that, in fact, the Art of War is or is not the definitive guidebook for war based on your application of these principles to your battle and what happened in the battle. So in other words, did the winners of this battle use all the strategies that Sun Tzu suggests in the Art of War? And if so, does that mean that the Art of War really is the definitive guidebook for winning a war? Or Did the winners use none of Sun Tzu's strategies? And they still won, which leads you to believe that The Art of War is not, in fact, the definitive guidebook for war. So that's the position you're going to take, and you're going to spend the 5 weeks reading The Art of War, researching a battle, and then putting that analysis together to write me an essay regarding whether or not you think Sun Tzu's strategies in The Art of War make it the definitive guidebook for war. And that's it. That's what this unit's going to look like. I want to show you a couple of more things, so stay with me. So if we go back to week 8, I just want to show you some of the supportive things that I have waiting for you as you embark in this journey. So every week will start this way. The first thing you'll get is an explanation of that week's work. Then you'll get the Art of War graphic novel, the Art of War Giles translation excerpts, and then there's another Art of War PDF that's written in bullet points. So you have access to all 3 of those, and I literally put them in every single week that you're doing this unit. So you can find them every single week. They're all listed as 8.2, 8.3, and 8.4, but they're in every single week. Here in week 8, you have the overview of the unit where it breaks down everything that you're going to be doing. And then there's this fun facts and background information about the Art of War. That's really important for your brain to read. Also, it's going to have some information that's going to appear on this quiz. So be sure that you read that. Okay, and then we have, for the rest of this week, just some grammatical concepts, because again, we're continuing to work grammar so that as you continue writing in this course, you are eliminating things like fragments and run-ons, you're using commas correctly, so all the work we're doing around grammar is to those ends. Okay, so if you look in week 9, you'll see the same thing that I have in week 8 right here. And then I give you this document. It's 20 points. It's just a way to help you remember some literacy strategies that I think are really going to help you as you decipher these 2 very different types of texts. Next, I provide you with a key ideas table. It's a little bit like what I did for you last semester in the Kite Runner unit where you had a place to put quotes. That's what this is. This is a place for you to put quotes for your graphic novel. And then we do some comma rules here around grammar. Once you get into week 10, again, you'll see an explanation for that week's work. I can't stress enough how important it is that you guys be reading that every single week. And then you have, again, all of your texts, depending on how you want to access them or in what week that you want to access them. They're always there in every single week. And then here is your translations and your key idea table for the Giles translation for chapters 3, 6, and 10. You'll be reading those in week 10, and you'll be filling out your key idea tables for that. Then I provide you with an opportunity to practice with the Cuban Missile Crisis. So you're going to watch a quick video about the Cuban Missile Crisis just so that you have background information on what happened during that. It isn't even a battle, it was a crisis. It lasted a couple of days. So you're going to watch a quick screencast, 15 minutes, it'll give you background. Then we're going to do a screencast together where I show you how to take what happened in that battle and apply it to Sun Tzu's strategies. Essentially the exact same thing you're going to be asked to do in your essay. So we're just going to do a little bit of that and walk through it together so you can look forward to that happening. And then if you did this optional book project that I assigned out in week 2 or 3, something comes due for that in week 10, just as a reminder. And then starting in week 11, you will finish reading The Art of War. That's chapter 11. Get ready. Chapter 11, y'all, is really, really long. So just give yourself enough time. I think I give you 2 full days to get through that one chapter. Then you're going to finish any research that you need to do for your essay, and you're going to submit your thesis statement in week 11. And then in week 12, your essay actually comes due. It's the only thing you have to do that week is to just write out the essay. Along the way, if you go into those folders, you'll see support materials. You'll actually see an essay organizer that I create for you that will allow you to kind of commit some ideas to memory, and it will allow you to understand how I want you to organize each of your body paragraphs. So if you go into week 12, you'll see this is the research paper. It's 200 points. I explain everything you need to do here in writing. I break down the format of your essay from introduction to first body paragraph, second body paragraph, etc., all the way down. There will be a rubric assigned to this essay, so you'll be able to go through and see how you're going to earn points. And then if you click on this, you actually see all of that stuff as a Google Doc, same exact information. And if you scroll down, you'll see that I invite you to put some ideas into this organizer. Now, to be clear, and I state this clearly for you, this is not what you will turn in. This is just if you want to use this organizer as a holding pen for your ideas, then you can. What you will submit, however, looks a lot like this. You're going to have your name here, your last name up here with a page number, which every page will be numbered. This is a header, so you'll put your last name and a page. And then this is how you structure the heading of your essay. So your name, my name, the name of the class, and the date. And it is due April 26th, so I use that date, but you're welcome to turn it in whenever you're done. Then this thing right here is the title of your piece. Notice there's a double space from here to the title, and there's a double space from here to your beginning. So your beginning then, everything is double spaced. You'll indent from here every single time you have a new paragraph. This will be your introduction paragraph, and then this is your first body paragraph. And I just basically was silly and said, hey, here's what you're going to do in your first body paragraph. I do the same thing for here's what's going to happen in your second body paragraph. If you went to a page 2, you would notice your header continues on to page 2, and then you just continue writing your essay. So this is what it will look like when you submit your assignment. You'll be submitting a Google Doc as opposed to this organizer. Now, you're welcome to use this, and then you can just copy out that stuff that you put in here, and you can add it to the actual Google Doc you'll submit. Or you can skip this entirely, because all of these instructions right here that are on this graphic organizer are also found right here in the assignment sheet itself. So you can just follow this assignment sheet, write your Google Doc, and you'll be fine. You decide which thing works best for you. And so to quickly recap, this unit, which is 5 weeks long, you are going to read the Art of War graphic novel. You're going to read the Art of War Giles translation, a couple of chapters worth. You're going to research a battle of your choosing. Then you are going to apply the strategies that you learned from Sun Tzu's Art of War to the battle that you researched to determine whether you think that battle makes the Art of War the definitive guidebook for war. And then that'll all culminate in an essay that you'll write to that prompt, whether or not you think the Art of War is the definitive guidebook for war based on your analysis of this one battle. So, as always, if you have questions, come into office hours. Otherwise, happy researching, happy writing. I can't wait to see your guys' work. Thanks.